Louis and Chewies, we are rattling through
you guys.
the
For you, Dodgy.
NFL, and we're talking the AFC South. I'm joined, Big Poochie here, by the OG G-Mac.
Coming in, special guest, one off.
This division, you've got Texans look like a powerhouse now, but between Colts and Jags, there are lottery picks, and the Titans, you just don't know. So let's go through.
You don't know. Why didn't you ask the expert you brought on your show?
The expert, what do we think about the Texans this year?
So I got the Texans to top the South. They have a great young squad led by a stud quarterback and a great young coach. They've traded well in the off-season, and now they've got real depth, right? They have the best wide receiver room in the NFL, and that's not even debatable. I think they've got 4 top 20 wide receivers, unbelievable. They got Mixon, who's a top 10 running back, and it'll strengthen their running game, who already had Pierce and a couple other good running backs.
Yep.
And yeah, look out for them in the playoff as a dark horse to win the Super Bowl. And if you were listening earlier, I took them to win the whole thing. So I am hot on the Texans this year. I'm hot on the Texans.
What are you saying about Diggs, who obviously wins at the Bills for the number of receptions?
You're anti-Diggs because you think...
Well, it's just facts. He left the Vikings.
He's got a winning mentality. He hasn't won. He wants to win. He's left he sees as a sinking ship in the Bills to join what he sees as a rising star in the Texans.
But he's part of the sinking ship.
Could he be the cancer that ruins this Texans young studs? Yeah. Could be. Or could he take that captain's role, the mentorship role, and get the Tank Dells and the Nico Collinses to the next level by taking still his fair share of the catches?
But that's what I hope for.
I just think that is a crazy talented offensive side. One of the best promising quarterbacks we've seen in some time.
Yeah. Like I say, I just don't get a player, no matter who it is, when you're the most targeted wide receiver in the league and you complain to the media that you don't see enough of the ball, just baffles me. Like
when it snows at -19 and you've got to clean the car park just to get your Ferrari in, you'll start to find little bits that annoy you.
Yeah.
You'll start to blur the lines at 150 the receptions become 10.
Yeah,
and you're not getting fed anymore.
The wires in your brain just start freezing.
So I think moving to let's be honest, Houston, which hasn't snowed in the history of mankind.
Yeah,
I think you'll be a lot happier.
And barbecues and brisket should bode well for him. But no, I totally agree. When you've got Pierce and then add Mixon to the running back to take the pressure off Stroud, who looks like a veteran quarterback. I mean, when you consider what was it 5 or 6 interceptions all of last year, right? This guy's throwing bombs for fun, very risky, right? But still accurate. But he looks so composed. That's the thing about it, man. And when you consider...
And a great coach that backs him as well.
Yeah.
So.
And when you consider, as we spoke about earlier with the Panthers, drafting young, how different it can be in a franchise history, just moving one spot or you get one... And it is a lottery because, to a degree, it is clearly not a full-blown, unchallenged science behind it because the amount of number 1 draft picks that do fail. Now, we're not saying Young has failed. He wasn't given a platform, but
Portland
do well.
Picking... the number 2 over Jordan and number 3. Changes everything, right? Who even knows, actually, would CJ Stroud be the same player if he went to the Panthers? Because the Panthers are a joke. No. We don't know. Everything works out well for a reason, right? Good
it's coach. A situation.
Yeah,
that's what I said earlier about Caleb Williams.
Yep.
He has
It could be sitting here talking about Bryce Young if he'd gone to the Texans, if he'd been lucky enough to get the second pick, right? He might be sitting here going, what a rookie of the year he was.
Yeah.
So... Yeah, you're right. But like I said, I'm big on the Texans and I'm big on CJ Stroud.
Colts, mate.
One of the 4 or 5 I mentioned earlier, followed by another one of the 4 or 5 in the same division, who are a lottery. The Colts are much improved, and the fact that they have Richardson and Jonathan Taylor both fit going into the season, which they had neither of them fit kind of last year, they got both of them fit. They're a top 3 running back quarterback combo.
But for people that don't know, Richardson has had physical stats that are just off the roof coming out of college, in terms of all physical abilities.
Yeah,
he's played very little in college because of COVID and the like, so he's a guy with huge upside.
Yeah.
But what we haven't seen is enough of him to make a full-blown... Yeah, 100%. Yep. But there's not enough on him.
There's still doubts about his arm. There's still doubts about his decision-making. But his physicality, running game is second to none.
His arm, he's got a rocket arm, but can he control that bad boy?
Stop throwing it 90 every time when the guy's only 10 yards out. You know what I mean? We're
I'll stop putting a hole through.
We're in the red zone. We're in the red zone, mate. Why have you thrown it over the stadium? Right. So there's doubts about his decision making.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean,
the actual strength of the arm, there's no doubt.
Yeah. Shane Steichen, the offensive coordinator, who took the Eagles to a near win in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs a couple of years ago, made Gardner Minshew, aka Uncle Rico. Fair enough, Uncle Rico. Gardner Minshew throws a pigskin a quarter mile, but man, he looked really good. Yeah, he looked really good. So
you don't need to throw a quarter mile when there's like 100 yards.
But if he's the guy that can make Gardner Minshew look as good as he did for the Colts, you'd say that he's in very good hands to be refined.
I also think they've strengthened depth. They've kept the key players as well. They kept Pittman Jr. and stuff like that. So, and like I said,
Pittman Jr. is underrated.
They kept Jonathan Taylor, and like I said, he's fit. So I think there'll be a danger. I don't think there's a danger to the Texans as in winning the group, but there's danger to the Jags and coming second. So I've got the Colts second.
Yeah.
And again, they are one of those 4 or 5 teams that I mentioned who could be boom or bust. Could be great to watch or could be absolutely awful still because we just don't know. There's not enough data on it. The Jags I've got coming third, and they're, for me, a bang-on 500 team, which means they'll lose as many as they win. They gave the prince that was promised his $55 million a year, and he needs to start proving his worth, right? Yes, he's handsome. Yes, he's got beautiful hair.
I mean, after his movie career, after the Prince Charming, coming into the NFL, been slightly disappointing, albeit we spoke about the situations with Caleb Williams and Young.
As a first round, as a number one, the number one draft pick, you're forced to be played.
Yeah.
And he played in a losing team year 1, year 2 was a bit better, year 3 was a bit better. This is his year. He's been paid now.
Yeah.
This is the year to prove it.
And they've got a
Unfortunately,
good team.
I think they've got an average team. This is what I was going to say. Average running backs, not bad, not great. Average wide receivers, not bad, not great. Right? They're not a poor team.
No.
And like I said, I've got them as the only 500 team.
Hey, this is where I say, if you're making $55 million with a team like this, you should be able to be pretty good.
Okay.
Right? Because if you're paying top dollar, you're not going to get top dollar. So
the Jags are a bottom 4 team as far as wow factor, and they'll want to go to Duval, right?
Yeah.
So it's hard to sign gun players.
But I'm saying
the squad is exactly what you would expect from
where would you rather be? Who do you think would play better, Tua at the Dolphins or Lawrence at the Dolphins?
That's a tough one, man. Honestly, that's a tough one. Tua finds them. And like I said, I've always been unders on Lawrence. I know you were over at college.
Yeah.
I was always more I was always a Burrow man. You were a Lawrence man. I don't think he's proved himself yet. He's been paid now. Now's his time to lead them.
100%.
Right? Now's his time to lead them. And unfortunately for him, it's a tough division now. But it wasn't. It was an easy division.
I agreed.
But now, and again, the Jags could blow me away and get 10 wins and go to the playoffs, right? But I've got them getting 6 or 7 wins. Not necessarily 8 wins. I've got 50-50.
Doug Peterson had a brilliant first year. Last year, both him and Lawrence, I think, came off a little bit. I think they'll definitely take second place next year.
Okay.
I think
they'll be the Colts.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Colts coming third.
And then
Titans
we'll
again are a little bit of an anomaly. I mean, they've got.
So you like this? You like this? The Titans is the only team I haven't wrote anything about. Right? I mean, zero. No, it's not even 1 sentence. It's not even their name. I didn't write Titans.
Ever since Derrick Henry's left.
No,
I'm not interested.
Got rid of the good coach, right? Got rid of the best running back. Hired an overpaid. What? No, mental, right? But then get rid of Derrick Henry, which is mental, without replacing him. Well, I mean, they got Pollard, but it's not a replacement, right? And hiring very old wide receivers in Hopkins and Ridley. Overpaid and done, in my opinion. Ridley's done, right?
Ridley's
done. And they're paying a lot of money for both of them.
Yeah.
And a rookie quarterback in his second season. I didn't even write notes on them. They're definitely coming last in that division. Very underwhelmed because for one, I mean, they won the AFC 3 years ago, right? And now they're one of the worst teams in the AFC.
They were overachieving back then.
Because a great coach. Disappointing team and badly run.
Yeah, 100% agree. That wraps it up for the AFC South. I've got Texans, Jags, Colts, and Titans.
I've got Texans, Colts, Jags, Titans.